Hey Earl, how you going? We haven't started yet. But we're going to start very soon.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hi,
And
Jackie.
so yeah, I was just saying, just make sure you've got whatever you need to be comfortable, water, snacks, pillows, whatever.
Hmm?
And we are going to be taking some notes as well. So maybe just like a notebook and a pen.
Sorry, Mother. Sorry, Riley.
All good.
All right. Do you want me to turn off my audio now? Turn off my mic?
Yeah, no worries. Sounds good. Thank you. Okay, cool. So we're going to make a start. So just sitting comfortably, and I'm just going to chat to you a little bit first. So this workshop is self-care for Pilates teachers. And the reason why I wanted to do this workshop is because I just notice in our industry that a lot of us can sometimes put ourselves last. So, we get busy with clients, running a studio, and I've even, in talking to other instructors, I've even heard people say that they don't have time to do Pilates themselves. And I think that that's a real shame because it's challenging to teach the work well if you're not experiencing it for yourself and experiencing how it feels in your own body. So it's not just Pilates teachers as well. It's group fitness instructors, some PTs, not all of them, and even like a lot of small business owners just get really busy with their business, and they kind of drop to the bottom of the list. So I sort of spent a lot of time thinking about this, and I've put together 3 steps to self-care. And these steps have worked really well for myself. And today is the first time that I'm sharing them with other people. And I'm really excited and curious to see if this process works for you as well. So one of the first things that people often talk about in alignment with this subject of self-care and working in the Pilates industry is money. So one of the reasons why we work so hard is because we need to make money, and we need to pay bills, and we need to survive. So one of the things that we're going to consider today is how much do we really need? And one of the things that really helped me was figuring out what my basic essential needs were, and then figuring out how many clients do I need to teach in order to cover my minimal requirements. And sometimes it's not as much as what you think. So sometimes you're doing all of this extra work that you don't really need to do. And when you're really busy, you don't have the time to actually sit down and figure out what you actually need. So that's one thing that we're going to consider. And also bringing in self-practice and prioritizing self-practice in your day as well. So today I'm also hoping that we can just look at ourselves as individuals. And I think that we're all different, but we all have something really awesome to offer. Nowadays, there's a lot of Pilates. There's Pilates everywhere, and I kind of think of it as like an ice cream shop. So you've got all these different flavors to choose from, and Pilates industry is like that now. There's so many different types of flavors, and some people like this flavor, some people like that flavor, and who you are as a person can align with certain styles and certain flavors. So the reason why this is important is because I think that if you try to align yourself with a style that doesn't really suit you, you use up a lot of energy trying to fit in to something that's not particularly natural for you. So I think spending a bit of time trying to figure out like what you actually like when you're doing Pilates, you know, what type of Pilates do you like? What sort of exercises do you like? Do you like to go fast or go slow? Do you just want to feel good? Do you want to feel the burn? Figuring out what you like. And I think most of the time, the things that you like sort of point to what kind of teacher you will be. Because if you enjoy it, then it's going to be more natural for you to want to practice it and want to learn more about it and then share it with other people. The other advantage of that, in my mind, is then there is having all of these different types of Pilates, I think is a very good thing because there's all different types of people and we're at all different stages of our life. You know, like a young person might be looking for something different in their Pilates compared to an older person. You know, a triathlete might be looking for something different from their Pilates. Sorry. As opposed to somebody who is an office worker. And so the way that you teach might align better with this sort of person. So my sort of vision is that if we can all spend some time figuring out what kind of teacher we are, and we can have a good community where we can all get to know each other. And then when people come to us and they're looking for a certain thing, then we know who to send them to, right? So for example, I'll use myself as an example. Some of you have worked with me before, and I do like to teach a more restorative type of Pilates. You know, I have a lot of clients who have stressful jobs, stressful lifestyles, and I've found that I really enjoy helping to calm their nervous system. And working in that type of environment is also for me, and you know, good for me and some of the things that I have going on with my health. So if I have somebody come to me who wants to do hard, fast, high intensity Pilates, funky tricks on the reformer, then I have other people, other teachers in my community who are really good at that I can send them to. Because even though I'm a very good teacher, I don't really want to do that sort of thing. So just to come full circle. One of the things that I'd like to do today is just give us some time and space to think about who we are as a person, what kind of teacher we want to be, and just having an open mind that we're all welcome and we can all feed off that, and it can actually work in our favor ultimately. So in order to get to this point, I've come up with 3 steps that we need to figure out. So the first one is basic needs. So just figuring out, what are the minimal things that we need to be able to survive. So that might be, I've got to be able to pay my mortgage, I've got to be able to pay my rent, I need to cover groceries for myself and my family, anything like that, bills. If you have a studio, it might mean rent and utilities at the studio. Maybe you have employees, that might count. Being able to pay your employees might count as a basic need. We're going to go deeper into this, but just to let you know what's coming. And so then the second one is needs. So the first one's basic needs, like really essential stuff. And the second one is starting to get more into things that maybe you don't need as much, but are still important. And this is, things to look after you, self-care for yourself. And what these needs are could look different for each person. So for example, it might be meditation for me is a need. So I need to make time for that in order for me to function well in the world. Okay, so for some people, it might be getting a facial, or it might be having a bath. Okay, so these things help you to feel better in the world, help you to feel more confident, more comfortable. And then number 3 is what you really want, things that you want. So what would your life look like if you had everything that you wanted? So you might have like a particular type of house or an area that you want to live in. It might be that you want to have more equipment in your studio. Maybe you want to upgrade your car. Maybe you want to have more freedom. You want to be able to travel, things like that. And we're going to work through each of those today. So for each one of those 3 things, so we've got basic needs, and what you really want. There's another 3 steps that we're going to go through for each one of those things. So the first one is space and time to think. Okay, so we're just going to give ourselves a moment just to have a think about it. Really simple. And then we're gonna write it down. Write down anything that comes up. And then number 3 will be to put it into practice, and that will be mostly done hopefully after the workshop. Cool. So before we do those, before we work through each 3 steps for each thing, we're just going to do a little bit of a movement practice. And that is just to help us get us into a relaxed state and more focused and centered state. So we're going to do like a little bit of a mini mat class now. So we can come up to standing, and I'm just going to clear myself a little bit of space here. Okay, so we're just going to stand with our feet hip width apart. We're just going to take a moment here to just feel our feet on the floor. So just feeling the texture of your mat. Feeling the temperature of the mat. Just tuning into your feet. And we're going to rock forward and just feel your weight rock into your toes. And then rocking back into the heels. And try to feel a little bit of a rolling wave-like sensation through the feet. Rolling from the toes to the heel, almost like your foot is like a spine and you're rolling through the spine. The next time you rock forward, we're just going to lift up the heels, come up into a calf raise. Try and lower the heels down slowly and rock back into the heels. So of course, if you need a prop, a roller or a stick, feel free to grab one here. Rolling through the foot until the base of the toe joints coming up. Slowly lowering down, rolling back into the heel. We'll just do a couple more here. And we're just going to come up into that one more time and just hold here. So breathing in and out. Try to balance between your big toe and your little toe. Balancing. And slowly lowering the heels down. Take a breath in as you exhale, roll down. Bring your eyes, tongue, chin down, roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. And the first one you can just come down to wherever you want to do. And just hang there for a second, just enjoy. Just breathing. On your next exhale, bend your knees, roll up through a C curve. Inhale at the top. Exhale, roll back down. Nice tongue chin, vertebrae by vertebrae. This time, just come down to a nice C curve. So probably not as far, because I want you to try to get that round shape in your spine. Just hold there, roll into your big toe. So your thigh bones roll in, you get that nice spiral through the legs. And on your next exhale, bend your knees and C curve a little bit more to roll up. Breathing in at the top. Exhale, eyes, tongue, chin down. Coming down again to that nice C curve. Just pausing there for an inhale. Exhale, roll up one more time. Breathing in at the top. Exhale, roll down to your C curve. It's time. Place your hands on your shins. Press into your little finger and reach your heart forward so you go into a flat back, maybe a little bit of extension. And then curl back to your C curve so you roll into your thumbs. And repeat. So you roll into your little finger and push into your legs. Reach your heart forward. Roll into your thumb, do a pelvic tilt standing up. Find that C curve. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, curling. And we're just going to do 2 more. So it's kind of like cat cow, but standing up. And when you get to your flat back, just hold there. I'm holding in your flat back. See if you can take your arms out to the side like an aeroplane. Cool. And try to keep that reach through your spine and just hinge from the hips and come back all the way up to standing. Good. Bring your arms back down. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, roll down. Eyes, tongue, chin. Vertebrae by vertebrae. Rolling all the way down. Placing your hands on the mat. So we're going to pause here. If you can't quite put your hands on the mat, you can put your hands on your shins. And I want you to try to drop into your heels, press your hands into the mat or press them into your shins. And then we're going to bend the knees. You can choose how far you go. And then gently straighten the legs. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, press the hands and feet down. And it's okay if your legs don't fully straight. Totally fine. Inhale, bend. Exhale, extend. And we're just going to do 2 more. And then from here, just bend your knees a little bit. Lift one heel up and slide that leg out. Followed by the other, lift your heel, slide out. So you end up in your pot. So just reset here. Have your hands wider than your shoulders, in front of your shoulders. It's okay if your heels don't touch the floor. Press into your fingertips and try to press your heels back. And we're just going to hold here for a couple of breaths. Lengthen your spine. And then we'll lift up both heels. And just bend one knee, lower the other heel down. Lift both heels up and change to the other side. See if you can roll through your feet, kind of like what we were practicing at the start. So your feet rolling like a spine. Getting a bit of a wave-like movement through your feet as you change sides. We'll just do 1 more to each side here. And then lift both heels up. Bend your knees and lower yourself down to 4 point. And once you're here, just pause here. Try to lengthen your body. So you're trying to reach your hips back and your head forward. Trying to get that axial elongation. Just do a couple of little rib shifts. So just shifting your ribs across to one side. Back through center and across to the other side. So a horizontal movement like a typewriter. Slow and controlled. We'll just do 1 more to each side. And then we'll flow into hip cat. So if you shift the ribs to the left, you bend to the right. Coming back through the center, shifting the ribs to the right, bending to the left. Just lift up in your back a little bit, Al. Yeah, good. And so even though we're doing a side bend, we're trying to lengthen. So try to keep the side you're bending to a little bit long and open. Try not to squish it. So you might get a nice stretch, but it's also quite a bit of work. And we're just going to do one more to each side. And coming back to center. And then come through to seated, however that works for you. Sitting with the feet hip width apart. And just take a second here, let your hips rest into the mat. So you're just letting gravity assist with that. At the same time, try to reach the top of your head up. We're feeling a sense of heaviness at the hips, sense of lengthening through the torso. And then from here, we're going to do sachets sitting down. Okay, so we'll reach one femur out, the other femur goes in. Or another way to think of it is that we're trying to slide one heel along the mat and then let it come back in and then slide the other heel. Practice a few more there. Your pelvis will move a little bit. Maybe you can feel that you get a little bit of nice rotation in the bottom of the spine. Do one more to each side. Coming back to center, float the arms up, wider than the shoulders, and we'll sachet and rotate through your spine. Top palm faces down, back palm faces up. Coming back through to center, and then to the other side. So sachet, spiral the spine from top to bottom. Coming back through. So you might inhale as you rotate. Exhale as you come back through to the center. As you twist, reach through your fingertips so the front hand reaches forward, back hand reaches back. Trying to keep your humeral head placement. So often that means not pushing your arm back too far. So you lengthen this way, but not necessarily pushing your arm back. Hope that makes sense. Long spine. We'll do one more to each side. And back to center, and we can release the arms. And from here, just come to sideline. So knees bent, feet flat. Head resting on your arm. And if your neck is uncomfortable, you might like to use a pillow or a towel under your head here. And we're just going to do some side breathing. So with side breathing, we're just trying to breathe into both sides of the ribs. Inhale, feeling the ribs expand. And just exhaling naturally. And here can be a really nice place for your hand because it helps your shoulder to sit in a good spot. But you might also like to put your hand on your ribs. So just options. And just having the hand there might help you to feel that side breathing. Sorry, Plum. So side breathing can help to release the diaphragm. And it can just help to calm our nervous system as well. So this can be a good technique for people with neck issues. However, sometimes the side lying can be a bit of a challenge. So you might have to prop them up, pillow under the head. You might even need something under the ribs. We're just going to practice this for another minute or so. Try to soften through your face. Soften your jaw. Just one more side breath here. And just let yourself just do your normal breathing for a moment. We're going to press up and just scooch over to the other side. And feel free to grab anything you need to be comfortable in this position. And once you're ready, again, side breathing, inhaling. Into the sides of the ribs. Exhaling naturally. Option to put your hands on your ribs if that works for you. Looking to breathe into the sides, but not too much force. Just trying to do it sort of gently. Just one more side breath here. And just let yourself go back to your normal breath. And then we just get to roll over onto our backs. So we set up our feet hip width apart. And you want to give your hips plenty of space. So your feet are sort of far away, kind of probably further than what you think. You do want your toes to be able to rest on the mat. So if your toes are sticking up, you might need to come a little closer. And for your shoulders, it might be more comfortable to have your hands by your side with your palms up or the palms down, or I find for some people even across the ribs. So whichever one feels like it's helping you with your placement at your shoulders, at your humeral head. We're going to be here for a couple of minutes, so again, get comfortable if you want to put something under your head or under your shoulders. And so we're in constructive rest. And sometimes just being in constructive rest can help us with our physical alignment. But it can also help with relaxation. Just try to draw your attention to any areas of your body that are touching the floor. The feet, the heels, the hips, some parts of your spine and your ribs. Shoulder blades, some parts of your arms, the back of your head, or just softening into a mat. When we go into light breathing, it's super simple. It's just your normal breaths, but trying to do it with less effort. And see if you can still take your regular full inhale and exhale. And try to do it with less tension and less force. When you practice light breathing, you might feel like you need to take a big inhale, and try to avoid that if you can. And try to just keep going with the light breathing. We're going to be here for another minute. And return to your natural breath. And you might take a big breath in if you feel like it. And then no rush, but in your own time, just like make your way up to sitting. Cool. So take the time to make yourself comfy again. And feel free at any time to take a sip of water, sip of tea. And this time, I'd like you to have your notebook nearby if you have one there. I've just got some sand timers that I'm going to be using, just in case you're wondering what these are. Cool. So now we're going to look at our self-care steps. And so the first one is basic needs. So we're going to just spend a little bit of time just reflecting on what that might be for you. So for the first couple of minutes, I want you to try not to write anything just yet. And we're just going to sit and just think. And I'm just going to help you to get into just a little bit of a meditative state for this. So just get yourself comfortable. And if you're seated, try to feel just a gentle lengthening of the spine. Try to let your hips soften a little bit. Natural breathing. Closing down the eyes. And just asking yourself in your mind, what do I need? What do I really need? What do I really, really, what's really essential for me to survive in this world? I'm just noticing what comes up. And if you get off topic, that's okay. Just come back to the question, what do I need? What do I really need? What do I really need? What are my basic essentials? What are my must-haves and must-dos? And it might be for yourself, but it also might be responsibilities for people you have to take care of. So now just shift your awareness into your heart. And if it's helpful, you can put your hand on your heart. And asking the same questions from the heart as opposed to the mind. What do I need? What do I really need? What are my basic needs? Maybe the answers are the same, or maybe they're different. Ready, you can open your eyes. And we're going to write it down. So just taking your notebook and maybe a fresh page. You might like to title it My Basic Needs or something like that. And just writing down, and it might be just one thing or it might be a list. And we're trying to focus on the really basic essentials: food, water, shelter, things of that nature. And we're just going to spend a couple of minutes there. Exercise might be a basic need. Figuring out your base income, and you don't have to actually do the math now. A lot of these things are things that you're probably already doing as well. Cool. And if you want to keep writing, feel free. And we're going to move on to number 2, which is needs. And we're going to apply the same steps here. So things that you need, but maybe not as much as your basic needs. So exercise might be in this category for some people. Facial, having a bath, meditation, some of these things are more important to some types of people than others. And so think about things that you need to do in order to live your life well, in order to have enough energy to be the person that you want to be in the world. Things that support you so that you can do that. It might be food prep, getting enough sleep, or that might even be a basic need for some people. Having 1 day off a week, 2 days off a week. And just getting comfy. And we're just going to spend some time just considering that first. And so again, just coming back to your breath. And by that, I mean just observing your breath. And just letting yourself be here. Feeling a little bit of lengthening through the spine. Closing the eyes. And asking, what do I need to provide to myself to support myself? What do I need to provide to myself to support myself? What do I need to do for me so that I have the energy to be the best teacher that I can be? And you can experiment with asking your mind, asking your heart, or you might like to go straight to the heart. Seeing what comes up, and there might be answers, but there also might be blockages, frustration, uncertainty. And that's okay. Try not to judge it, but you're just observing and seeing what's there. You go off topic, your mind starts to wander, no worries, just come back. What do I need to provide to myself to support myself? maybe you can identify some needs that you're not giving yourself right now. And just thinking about how that affects you. Maybe taking it further and thinking about how it affects the people around you, your clients, your family. When you already know rush, opening your eyes and moving on to step 2, writing things down. And if you already wanted to start that, that's totally fine. We'll just allow ourselves a couple of minutes here to just take note of anything that come up, and you might want to do a fresh page for number 2. Good. And feel free to continue writing if you like. And we're going to go through the same process just one more time. And so the last one, number 3, is what you really want. So what kind of lifestyle do you want? How many hours do you want to work? What kind of clients do you want to have? What kind of environment do you want to work in? And you obviously you can include things that are not necessarily Pilates related or work related as well, maybe to do with your home, family life, what you do in your free time. And with this, there's really no limit. If something comes up and you think, oh, that's never going to happen, try to think differently about it and try to just let your mind go to those faraway places. And I do like to, at this point, just bring back self-practice as well, and just spending some time thinking about self-practice, because I think that most of us start Pilates because we tried Pilates and it was really good. But then sometimes, and not with everybody, but sometimes we get into the industry and we start working, we get so busy that our own practice falls to the wayside. But I do think for a lot of us, what we really want is to be able to do Pilates ourselves. So maybe that resonates with you as well. So again, getting comfy. Letting your hips soften. And if you're seated, lengthening the spine, coming back to your breath, closing your eyes. And asking, what do I want? What do I want? What do I really want? Can experiment with asking a question in your mind, asking a question from the heart, seeing what different perspectives, feelings, ideas come up. Or maybe you would like to go straight to the heart, working from there. What do I think I need to make me feel joy, happiness, satisfaction in my life? And if you find yourself going off topic, no worries. Just coming back, asking yourself, what do I really want? What does that look like? How does it make me feel? Can I identify specifically what it is that I want? Might be multiple things. If you're not already, maybe asking the same question from the heart. What do I want? And just being okay with asking and answering. For the last time, I invite you to just make a few notes. Writing down what you want. And I would suggest a fresh page. What do I really want? Making notes, anything that comes up. And we're just going to do one more thing here with our notes. And so this is the final step, which is putting it into action. And I'd just like you to go through all 3 pages and just see if there's anything that you could start doing in the very near future. Anything that is available to you that you could start to incorporate tonight, tomorrow, over the weekend. I'm just having a look, and even if it's only one thing, maybe circling those things or thing. Any basic needs that aren't being met that you could start incorporating. Any needs, or there might even be something that you really want that is right there, that's accessible. Totally fine if you need a little bit longer with that. And we're going to just finish with a nice little relaxation practice. And this one you can lie down for. So just getting comfy again. Any props you might like to have a roller under your knees or a bolster, pillow, blanket. And I'd like you to lie down. And I'm just going to stay seated just so my voice can project. And so once you're lying down, you can just come back to your breath. Letting your body soften. Surrendering to gravity. And we're just going to finish with a nice little yoga nidra practice. Pilates nidra, if you want to call it. And so I'm going to just call out body parts. And when I call out the body part, I just want you to repeat the name of it to yourself just inside your mind. So I'm going to say a body part and you're just going to repeat it to yourself on the inside. And we're going to begin that now. Right big toe, right second toe, right third toe, right fourth toe, right pinky toe, right foot, right ankle, right lower leg, right knee, right thigh, right hip, left big toe, left second toe, left third toe, left fourth toe, left pinky toe, left foot, left ankle, left lower leg, left knee, left thigh, left hip, front of the pelvis, the back of the pelvis, the abdomen, the lower back, middle back, right side of the waist, left side of the waist, the chest, right thumb, right first finger, right second finger, right third finger, right pinky finger, right hand, right wrist, right forearm, right elbow, right upper arm, right shoulder. the left thumb, left first finger, left second finger, left third finger, left pinky finger, left hand, left wrist, left forearm, left elbow, left upper arm, left shoulder. All the way around the neck, right side of the face, left side of the face, right ear, the left ear, right eye, the left eye, the back of the head, the top of the head, the whole body, the whole body, the whole body.